there's a reason why I am not happy right now, guys. We'll let a couple more of you guys come in before I explain why. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing tonight? After the Dover race, how y'all doing? Welcome to the Cutline. I'm your host Armani DePaul here on the Daily Downforce. How y'all doing? Y'all doing good? So, as you guys know, we've been having a couple mic issues recently. We're close to actually starting to figure that out. But, while we have technical difficulties, because, you know, the show likes to have a lot of them, take a look at this new thing that I created for the show. If any of you remember the Sonoma race last week, you'll enjoy this one. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to show it on the screen for a few seconds, but look at this, guys. What do y'all think of that? What do y'all think of that one? Dover hasn't had a good race for Cup since 2016 spring. NC 2055 CB, 2055 CB. I beat your favorite driver. This title lies. Mason Warren, I love Dover. Listen, Mason. I'm gonna be real with you. I really want to see Dover. Dover is one of my You see, I'll admit I'm weird. So, the way I categorize tracks I want to go to, I don't just think about the racing. I think the facility, where it is the track just visually appealing? And to me, Dover fits under that visually appealing. Ben Dover's a great track, most definitely. But like, see, it's literally a big Bristol. It's a big Bristol that you literally could just sink down and then come up and then do all that nonsense. I want to visit the track one day. Unfortunately, the racing, though, at least in my opinion, of course, isn't the greatest in the world. Raging Knuckles, glad we all agree Bristol is better. Most definitely. I agree so. I think majority of people believe so. Hold on, y'all. I got to put out a tweet real quick. We'll keep chatting here while I'm doing this. Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, God. You know what? Y'all have fun with that, Tony. Tony, I'm going to see you after this. Today is my country's Independence Day from NR 2055 CB. Hey, happy Independence Day to you, man. Hey, that's awesome. Love to hear it. Happy Independence Day, my man. I know you're a regular on these shows, so that's awesome to hear, man. Congratulations. Happy Independence Day. JGR for life. Not the best Dover race, but at least the second best car won. We'll talk about that in a moment. Chelsea FC Football Club forever. Juan Pablo. You mean the greatest driver of the modern era? Most definitely. I'm just putting the tweet out real quick. Oh, wait. What am I supposed? Big tweeter. Most definitely. Hey, Tony, aren't you supposed to be on Twitter too? So where you been? I haven't seen you in a minute. You may be wondering, shouldn't I do this before we go live? I'm going to be real because if you guys paid attention, usually I set these about 3.5 hours before every race, every race, or after every race. So it was for 5:30 and it's 7:07 right now. Bell was loose all day. That setup was fast, but the driver couldn't handle it. Mason Ward, Dover is definitely one of my next to attend. My dad wants to go to Pocono as well. As far as racing goes, it's unique at the least. I have a fascination with how easy it is to screw up. Exactly. I like tracks that challenge the drivers. Even if the racing on track may not be the greatest, I just like knowing that these guys have to work their ass off pretty much the entire race. All 400 laps in this case. Because if they make one mistake, I mean, we saw with Bell, it pretty much cost him. My top 5 tracks I want to go to. This is tracks I've never been to. Talladega, Martinsville, Dover, Pocono, and Atlanta. 2 plate tracks, 2 unique tracks in Dover and Pocono, and then we got Martinsville short track. Tracks I've been to, Homestead, more times than I could count. Daytona, Same thing, more times than I can count. That's what happens when you live in the state. Bristol and Indy. Yeah, those are all the races. Those are all the tracks I've been to. I've been to Indy once. Bristol in 2022 for the dirt race. And then every other race I've been to has been Daytona or Homestead. Oh, you crazy, man. You crazy. Alright, let's jump into the meat and potatoes here of this show. And we'll start off with the race winner and the topic of the title. So here's the thing. Denny Hamlin, oh, by the way, in case you guys may notice that the screen is a little bit stretched out, there is a reason for that. See it later on, but there is a reason why the screen looks kind of wonky. So, but screens aside, so Denny Hamlin won this race, and if you look at Denny's stats, it looks like, yeah, he is probably one of, if not the guy who deserved to win. Complete every lap, obviously. 67 laps led, had the fastest lap overall, most points. So yeah, you would think that Denny is probably the deserving driver. I can't say that Denny Hamlin deserved to win this race. You know, who in the comments said it here? I believe it was JGR for life. Yeah, JGR. If, you're still in the chat here, so I want to give a shout out to you because you kind of set the tone for what this stream is going to mainly be about. This track hasn't had it's kind of like Richmond. It hasn't had a good race in a very long time. But unlike Richmond, where it's really, for a lot of it, just kind of dull, bland, boring, not a lot of action that happens, that's a different kind of bad. That is a bad that you can kind of expect to happen. No one's going to a Richmond race now expecting a barn burner. You're expecting a dull race. Dover, to me, is what 2019 Michigan was. If you remember 2019, that was the first year of the 550 package. And I think the race that epitomized what the 550 package was the spring Michigan race. Drivers were close. Drivers were together. Just that bad. Look at the race today, guys. Really. Besides a few drivers, Larson, Bowman, I guess to an extent Denny Hamlin because he finished 13th. I mean, if you look at the results here, it's going to look deceiving. Because you see, Denny started 13th, won the race. Matter of fact, beside this race, who started in the top 10. Because you see Bowman 16th and 3rd, Bubba Wallace, Blaney, Buescher, Keselowski. And guys were able to work their way through the field. The problem I believe so. Yeah, now we're good. So, now we should be good. Watch the show since the beginning. This is kind of a throwback to when we started the show, where I had mic issues galore. Finally fixed those, and now they've made their return. I love this mic. This mic is amazing. This mic is amazing. If you guys want to know, the mic doesn't want to cooperate today. I might have to do a video Or just like, if you guys are on the Daily Downforce Discord, I might just have to show you guys how bad the... It's something inside the mic, but I'll talk about it later. Dover itself isn't the problem. It's just we don't have 900 horsepower anymore. That could be... It could be because we don't have a lot of horsepower, but here's the problem, guys. Again, we just haven't had a... Dirty air is so bad. And frankly, I don't know if horsepower is going to fix it. Look at the Xfinity series. They run about the same amount of horsepower as the Cup cars. 650, or I believe it's 630 compared to 670 for Cup. But they don't have this problem. They don't have the problem where you get within about 3 to 2/10 of a driver and then you can't do nothing. That's the problem, guys. Even in dirty air, that's a problem. You're seeing guys who are in second, third, fourth, can't get by a lap car. But there's another problem with it. It's not just the fact that dirty air is such a big problem. This is a two-sided equation. Dirty air and a spec car. I have said throughout my entire life as a racing fan that spec racing and top-level motorsports is one of the worst things that can ever happen. Racing is more than just the driver. Alright, you got the crew chief, the pit crews, the engineers, the mechanics. So you have a spec car. You have a spec car, then you take away a part of that equation. Guys, Junior... Well, I've been using that new technical difficulties graphic a lot with this stream. But yeah, I'll just wrap up this segment up by saying that the problem is dirty air is so bad at this racetrack, but you couple that with a spec car to where everyone is driving the same. Here's the thing. In theory, a spec car should work because you give everyone the same thing and the best should rise to the top. The problem is the field in terms of talent is closer than it's ever been before. That's the thing. Like, we say Kyle Larson's the greatest driver in the world. But the talent level between him and Denny Hamlin, or William Byron, or even Alex Bowman, isn't that far. So that's the issue, is that the talent discrepancy isn't that large. It's only about a few tenths. Maybe a second at the most, which in racing, of course you're going to get a close field because everyone is driving the same in terms of talent. And on top of that, everyone has access to everyone's data. You can literally see how Larson drives with his telemetry. You can see how Hamlin does it. So everyone ends up driving the same. When everyone is the same, guys, yeah, the racing is closer, but what's the point of close racing if you only have like 10 lead changes throughout the event? What's the point of close racing if everyone is just going to stay in a log train the entire time? It's eye candy. It may look cool, but we all know that at some point, I got to say, hey, can someone pass somebody? It just makes no sense to me. Vanilla Wafer, I just woke up and saw your message. I am a bad friend. Sorry. It's all good, Tyler. I mean, I'll give you a little bit of a pass, Tyler, because you know you live all the way in Arizona and I'm all the way in Miami, so I'll give you a pass there. You know, your time is different than mine. JJR for life. Get rid of SNT and the racing will improve. I absolutely agree. Whoa! This is new. We got a super chat from Tyler, aka Vanilla Wafer. This is my apology. Also, the race was mega poo-poo as far as racing goes. Wow. Thank you, Tyler, for the super chat. I don't typically ask for super chats, you know. I don't, and it for me personally, like it just feels weird trying to like ask people, hey, give me your money. Like, I've never been someone who likes asking people for money. So that's kind of one reason why I don't really ask for super chats, just because it feels weird. But Tyler, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. If you guys know Tyler, Vanilla Wafer, one of the best NASCAR content creators out there. Instagram, TikTok, well, TikTok especially, YouTube, you name it. So go, guys, as my repayment to Tyler, go check. Yep. So yeah, go check out Tyler on the social medias. Vanilla Wafer, look him up. You guys will find him. He has great content. Tyler, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Now, before we move on to the next segment, guys, please like this stream, subscribe to the Daily Downforce YouTube channel. That is how you can help me. I may not ask for super chats, but a like and a subscribe to the channel. Number one, that's both free. We all like free. Free is good. But also it helps me out a ton. It helps the channel out a ton. So please, guys, if you could, like this stream and subscribe to the Daily Downforce YouTube channel. That helps me out a ton. And again, thank you guys so much for tuning in every week. And as always, I just always like to thank everybody because, you know, I'm a thankful person. All right, let's move on to the next segment. Hopefully my mic doesn't cut out so much this segment compared to the last one. So, funny Vanilla Wafers is here because we're both friends with William Richard, aka NASCAR Pinion, who I will be seeing him next month in South Carolina. But anyway, so William is saying that Connor Zillage is the best prospect in NASCAR history. And for years, he has stated that he believes Ty Gibbs is the best prospect in NASCAR history. So it got me wondering, because Connor Zillage back-to-back wins, won Sonoma, and then won the Rainshore Dover race yesterday. So it got me thinking, who is the best NASCAR prospect out there? Let's make things a little personal. Who do you guys think is the best prospect in NASCAR history? Because the problem is with NASCAR, and you could say this with really any other sport, is that you have to take in so much into account, and it's not as cut and dry as looking at the stats that they show in the junior level, and then boom, they're the best. There's a lot that goes into that factor. What team they're on, how good the equipment is, what is their upbringing, you know, how much hype they had coming into the sport. There's so much that goes into it that is not as quantifiable as looking at stats and then calling it a day. So that's what we're going to do for this segment of the episode. Today, we are going to look at a few drivers who I believe were the best prospects in NASCAR history. This is my opinion, of course. I'm not always right. I'm not always wrong. I don't think I'm wrong in this case. You guys might think I'm wrong in this case. So follow along with me while I go on this journey. And while I'm at it, let me know in the comments section. Let me know in the chat who you guys think is the best prospect in NASCAR history. Maybe you have a list, maybe you have one driver. Let me know in the comments below. Before we get started, I saw a couple chats here. Let's see. JGR for life, Kyle Busch post Hendrick, and the Vanilla Wafers, either Joey Logano or Chase Elliott. I'm going to put one rule. And I'm sorry, JGR, but this goes against the Kyle Busch one because of your statement. You cannot take into account their cup level success. Everything has to be from their junior career. So Xfinity on down. Cup will not be included on my ranking. Because at that point, you're no longer a prospect. You are at the top level. And in my opinion, once you make it to the top level, you graduated from prospect. So Brad K has to be up there. He's not on my list. I don't think Brad Keselowski is not on my list. Vanilla Wafer, either Joey Logano or Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell. Let's just get started. This is in no order, by the way. These are just guys who I think will, and I will say who my number one is. I'll probably end up ranking them. So coming up first is we got the current driver, the number 22, the former driver, the number 24. I thought this was Joey Logano. I have both their Wikipedia pages up for this. Jeff Gordon. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, Jeff Gordon should be in the top 5 because we look at the stats here. I mean, just number one, look at all the awards he's earned. Look at all his achievements. Obviously, 4-time champ, 93 wins. You know, it should speak for itself. But I feel like, you know, I wasn't born I wasn't born until 2001, so I didn't really see the true prime of Jeff Gordon. Like, I wasn't around in the 90s, wasn't around really that much in the early 2000s. So, I only got a glimpse of Jeff Gordon's prime. But the thing with Jeff Gordon is he literally was snatched up, in a sense, by Rick Hendrick, even though Jack Roush wanted to sign him, and who's that? I believe Bill Davis wanted to sign him. I couldn't remember the name. Rick Hendrick, guys, I don't think you guys understand this. Rick Hendrick watched Jeff Gordon race one Busch race. One. And said, yep, I want him in my car, and he signed Gordon 2 days later. Now, I know Rick Hendrick probably got a lot of looks at Jeff Gordon at the time, a lot of data, all that stuff. But I imagine this was one of the first times that Rick really paid attention to Jeff Gordon. This was one of the first times, and he was just like, yep, that's all I need. Yep, you're coming in my car. You're going to be in my car next year. And obviously the rest is history. So, in my opinion at least, Jeff Gordon has to be included on this list. For a team owner to look at him one time, once or twice, and immediately say, yeah, you're my driver. 2 days later, snatches him up. That speaks volumes, in my opinion. Next one on the list, I gave it a little bit away, but it's Joey Logano. Guys, it takes a lot for a driver to pretty much immediately... Next up on the list is Joey Logano. Guys, I don't think you understand how much it takes for a driver to be so talented that they essentially skip Truck and Xfinity to go straight to ARCA. That's what happened with Logano. Yeah, he had a few truck starts, a few Xfinity starts in the part-time stints, but JGR, he basically said that Joey is so good that he doesn't need... need a full-time season of Xfinity at 19 years old. Imagine being just fresh out of high school and you just went from ARCA to Cup. Guys, Joey Logano was nicknamed Sliced Bread. As in the greatest thing since sliced bread. One of the best honors you can give anybody in terms of their accolades, their accomplishments, and their talent. When Joey Logano was coming up the ranks, this guy was stupid in terms of how much he was touted as a prospect. And 3-time champion, 37 wins. There's a reason. His microphone is quitting on him like Yaley quit on the Dover race today. But yeah, Joey Logano has to be included on this list. One of the best prospects in NASCAR history. Has to be. Now we're going to get into some more driver stats, more quantifiable stats, because, when you have guys like Jeff Gordon and Joey Logano, they don't have really the stats to back it up, but it's more just hype and just eye test to see that, yeah, this guy's going to be good. Next driver on the list is Ty Gibbs. Kind of like Joey Logano, where this guy... coming up through the ranks was just dominating everything week after week after week. But unlike Logano, we actually do have some stats to back up before he got to the top level. I mean, look at his ARCA stats. 2 part-time seasons in 2019 and 2020. Won in both of them. I know ARCA isn't the best in terms of just talent and in terms of strength of field, but still, that's pretty impressive. 8 wins in 27 starts. That's something to scoff at. Then you take a look at his 2021 season at 18 years old. He won half of the races that year. And finished top 5 in all but one race. All but one. Guys, I don't care if it's ARCA or local karting. That is stupid good. There is good and there's stupid good. Ty Gibbs that year was stupid good. Winning half of the races. A 3.0 average, a 2.0 average start, 11 poles. I don't care if he was in a JGR car. The guy was 18 years old. I don't need to say anything else. Like, that is, I want us to understand how insane that is for an 18-year-old fresh out of high school to win half the races in a season in a national touring series, finish top 5, not top 10, top 5 in all but one race, win more than half the poles that season, and have an average finish and average start all in the 3s or less. That is insane. But we don't stop there. He skipped trucks, went straight to Xfinity. Oh! Part-time schedule in 2021. Yeah, he only won in 18 starts. He only won 4 of them. Yeah, won 4 races in a part-time stint. Oh, finished 13th in points. Running barely more than half the races. At 18 years old again. And when did he get win number 1, you might ask? But what you might be wondering, when did he get win number 1? His first start. His very first race. He won. Only 2 drivers on this list can claim that. Ty Gibbs is one of them. Then his first full-time season. Let's see here. Oh, 7 wins. Did almost 1,000 laps. Average finish in the 9s. Won the title. And he got 7 wins again. This is as a full-fledged, full-season rookie, might I add. Yeah. Very, very good. So, Ty Gibbs easily earns his place on this list. Another driver earns his place on this list is William Byron. This might shock some people, because whether you're a new fan or you're a fan that just doesn't really remember that much, William Byron coming through the ranks was extremely hyped. I remember back in 2015, 2016, when this guy was touted, he was viewed as one of the greatest prospects in NASCAR history. And if you look at the stats, there's really no way to deny that. First full-time season, only full-time season in trucks. 18 years old again. 7 wins. Was a blown engine away from making the Final Four. And this isn't the truck series now where the kind of the level and the quality and the respect had gone way down. This is against a prime Matt Crafton, a prime Johnny Sauter, Ben Rhodes, just other drivers that I can't think of. This was when Red Horse Racing was still around. The quality of the field was way higher then than it is now. So to have a guy, and Byron did all this again as a rookie at 18 years old. He made the truck series his playing ground. And again, was a blown engine away at Phoenix before we have playoff points from making the Final Four and possibly winning the title. Then we move on to Xfinity. His only full-time year in Xfinity. Oh, he just only went on to win 4 races and the championship, redeeming himself from that blown engine that cost him a title in the truck series. Again, 19 years old, first full-time season, only full-time season, and got it done. And that's what got him straight into the Cup Series, where it took him a little time to find his footing, but he eventually did. So, William Byron, again, this guy was stupid hype back then, and every time he worked his way through the field, he backed up the hype. So he has to be included on this list. And the final driver is Connor Zillage. I have to put Connor on this list because what he's doing is just asinine. ARCA Menard Series. Never really ran a full-time season. But in 8 starts, won 5 of them. At 17 years old, might I add. Average finish of 4.4. And again, won 5 of 8 races. More than half. I don't think y'all understand how stupid that is. Only ran 1 truck, a few truck races. Didn't really do too much there. It looked like, okay, maybe he's not as hyped as we think. But then he goes to Xfinity. Wins in his first start. Just like Ty Gibbs, excuse me. And then, first full-time season, 18 years old again. Oh, won 4 races, including 3 out of the last, what, 5 or 6? And looks like the championship favorite. So, where do I rank all these guys? Well, I'm going to start from 5, and I'm going to go all the way to number 1. Let's put all these guys up here first so I can do this a little bit better. Coming in at number 5, I'm going to give it to Jeff Gordon. Well, yes, among all the 5 guys mentioned on this list, he probably is he is the best overall out of all of them. I have to put him 5 on this list for 2 reasons. Number 1 is a little bit of recency bias. I wasn't around when Jeff Gordon was, dominating in the 90s. So I couldn't really understand the hype of Jeff Gordon as well as someone who was around during that time. And on top of that, even if you look at the stats in the lower series, never ran a truck race, don't really know anything about ARCA, dominated the USAC division, but that's a completely different level of discipline. And even in Xfinity, only won 5 races. So the stats don't really back it up, and I can't really quantify the level of hype he had because I just wasn't there. But Jeff Gordon has to be included on the top 5 best prospects of all time. Number 4 on the list, I'm tempted to go between Ty Gibbs or Connor Zillage. I'm going to go with Ty Gibbs. It might be... hold on for a second. What Ty has done is undeniably insane. Working his way through the ranks like he did. Again, won half of the ARCA races in his only season. And obviously I didn't click on that. And dominated Xfinity. I can't take that away from him. However, there's some things I'm going to give on Ty. I'm going to hold against Ty compared to others. Number 1, he never really ran a truck season. Yeah, you could argue he didn't need a truck season, but, I want to see what he could do in different levels of machinery. Matter of fact, he's never run a truck race. So, I do hold that a little bit against him when other guys have dominated other series more so than Ty. And if you look at his Cup Series stats, in 2022, because of Kurt Busch getting injured, he ran half of the Cup races that year, or more or less half of the Cup races that year. So going into his rookie season, he had more experience than most guys have in terms of prospects. He's got more than Connor. He got more than Byron had, and I believe he's got more than Connor, Byron, and I think he had more than Logano. So, I think probably besides Jeff Gordon, Ty has some of the most Cup experience before he went as a rookie in 2023. And I do hold that a little... I still think he's one of the greatest prospects in NASCAR. Because more guys just showed more throughout the junior ranks, I have to put him at number 4. Number 3 on the list, I'm going to give it to Connor Zillage. I don't want to include recency bias aside, because there are some things to talk about with Connor. Number 1, and this kind of goes hand in hand with Ty. Mic unplugging just like Ask It. Exactly, Levi. By the way, if you don't know what we're talking about, I'm talking about the greatest prospects in NASCAR history. Kind of alluding to like what Connor did, yesterday in Xfinity. Yes, Connor dominated most of his ARCA starts, but this is in an era of ARCA where there's, 2-3 competitive cars out there? So, you can't weigh his ARCA stats the same way you could with, like, a Joey Logano or a Jeff Gordon or even a William Byron. You just can't. At the same time, never won a truck race, only has 1 top 10 and 6 truck starts, which is kind of crazy. And Xfinity, yes, he's doing very, very well in Xfinity. I'm not taking that away from him. Only 3 Cup starts, so less experience than Ty Gibbs, but is arguably just, if not more dominant than Ty Gibbs. I have to put him ahead of him. Number 2, I'm going to give it to Joey Logano, which means that obviously I think William Byron is the greatest prospect in NASCAR history. But again, with Joey Logano, With Logano, it's just crazy because, again, you know, I didn't pay attention too much to Logano because I was 8 years old when he was a full-time Cup guy, so I don't remember too much of his upbringing. But again, the fact that so many respectable names in the sport looked up to him, the fact that JGR, Joe Gibbs, said, you don't need trucks, you don't need Xfinity, you're just going straight to Cup. The fact that he was seen as the best thing since sliced bread, that accounts for something. So Logano is going to go number 2, which means I have William Byron, that's Ty Gibbs. William Byron, in my opinion, is the greatest prospect in NASCAR history. Again, let's put into context what William Byron has done. Was one of the pioneers of going from iRacing to Cup. Dominated at 18 years old, his only full-time truck season. Now was good, dominated against quality drivers like Matt Crafton and Johnny Sauter. Xfinity wins the title in his first full-time season in Xfinity. Oh, and by the way, that first full-time season was the first 33 races of his Xfinity Series career. That's another thing about William Byron compared to guys like Connor and Ty and Logano and Gordon. They all had part-time stints to get themselves ready for the big time. Byron was just thrown into the deep end from start to finish. And he delivered every single time. Rookie Xfinity champ. Would have been a rookie truck champ if he didn't blow an engine. To win 11 races as a rookie from truck and Xfinity is unheard of. So the hype around him was immense. The attention around him was immense. There's a reason why Rick Hendricks said, yeah, kid, you're going in the 24 car now. And I think it's fair to say he's delivered. So, might be a little controversial, but for me, William Byron is the greatest prospect in NASCAR history. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree with me? Because I think I'm pretty spot on. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think William Byron is the greatest prospect in NASCAR history, or am I smoking something? Let me know. JGR for Life forgot about Kyle Larson, and Levi said Larson wasn't that hyped. Larson was hyped, but it's like, there's hype, but you need to have something to back it up in terms of numbers, and Larson didn't really have a lot of that, so that's why I didn't include him on the list, even though, yes, he did have a lot of hype with him. Nicholas, thanks a lot, Denny, for beating our favorite drivers again. It should have been Christopher Bell if he doesn't spin out, and for other favorite drivers come tomorrow. It'll be so yesterday. Chase Elliott. I thought about including Chase on the list, and he probably should be on the list, but I don't know. Like, again, I just think the guys that are also on the list, I've just have better hype or better resumes compared to Chase, so that's why I included them over Chase. And I know I saw Christopher Bell here. Bell would be number 6 for me, and then Chase would be number 7. Because Bell is another guy, dominated the lower ranks, very young. Actually, Bell probably would be held back a little bit because he is older compared to other guys. He got in Cup like at 25, 26, where other guys got in Cup like in their early 20s. So, Bell would be number 6, and Chase would be number 7. All right. Let's move on to Race Weekend Rankings Dover Edition. I'll make this one quick. Cup last, Xfinity 2. Yeah, the Xfinity race was rained out with a good chunk of laps to go, but Cup was just boring, man. No one, yeah, you could pass, but Dirty Air was so bad. You couldn't get by the leader. Everyone was so equal to the point where the guy who was last or like 35th, he could stay ahead of the leader. Speed didn't matter. Everyone was running the same thing. The tire was okay, but not that great. And like Levi said, you couldn't pass for nothing. Xfinity had a little more oomph to it, a little more strategy to play. And yes, while the race got rained out, what we did get, I think, was better than what we got in Cup. Also, this may be a hot take. They should have called the race with 14 to go. I don't need to sit around for an hour just to watch 10 minutes worth of racing. I mean, I get it. We want a green flag finish. We want this. We want that. But it's the same mentality as overtime. Oh, we deserve a green flag finish. we're not entitled to anything. So, shut up. And moving on to the race weekend rankings for 2025. This is the reason why the screen looks like this, guys. Because if you guys have been around, we've had a little bit of a problem with ranking all these races because let's just say that the tier list is getting a little too big. So I had to crop it a little bit, and I finally decided to do that. So as you can see right here, now we can see everything. So that's why the screen is a little bit stretched out. It's a little weird, but that's because we can see the entire tier list. Unfortunately, I'm putting Cup in D tier and Xfinity somewhere. We'll put it like around B tier. Look, that race was just... that race was rough. It was a rough watch. Seeing Denny just aero block again, that was the only reason he won. Seeing tire wear not really be a factor. Seeing the guy who was last stay ahead. It's just not appealing. I don't care if the cars are close if they can't pass. I'd rather see passing. At least in F1, they may be spread out by 5 seconds, but at least they could pass. Mostly because of DRS, but it's something. You can't pass. The whole point of racing is to see passing. I don't care if I see like a pseudo plate race. If I want passing. I didn't get that. This race was terrible. It's not F tier, but it was watchable. Barely. It wasn't good. It's like Batman and Robin. I can watch it and still have a good time, but I know it's not good. So, in Xfinity, I always say the bottom of B tier to all of C tier is just races that, yeah, they happened. They were all right. I'll probably forget them after about a few weeks. So, Xfinity kind of lands in that tier. So, there we go. That is my race weekend rankings for the 2025 season and for Dover. Am I on the mark? Am I not on the mark? Am I insane? Am I correct? Let me know in the chat and in the comments below. And while you're at it, please like this stream and subscribe to the Daily Downforce channel as well. It helps me out a ton. I really appreciate it. And if you look in the description, we got race weekend rankings as well for Dover and the 2025 season. So show me your race weekend rankings. That's a tongue twister. And then tag us along, and then we'll keep it rolling. But other than that, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. Dover was okay. Again, it was not great. Not that much to talk about. Just, yeah, you couldn't pass. Yeah, there was some strategy. Yeah, there was rain. That's pretty much it. Ty Dillon advance. It's written in the scriptures that Ty Dillon's going to win the in-season challenge. I'm fully... After being wrong on Ty throughout this entire 5-race stretch, Ty Dillon's going to win the... Ty Dillon. I forgot there's 2 ties now. It's a Ty versus Ty show. That is crazy. You know what's crazy, guys? The guy outside the top 30 in points is in the finals for the in-season challenge. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that's good. I'm just saying that's kind of crazy. Oh boy. Well, I'm tired. If you guys can tell, I'm probably going a little bit insane. Most definitely. And I think I'm going to... Oh, no, I can't wrap it up because we have one more thing to take care of. So, if you guys know, let's see real quick. We can find it here. Let's see if we can find it. Gotta find... Oh. Hold on. Okay. So, like we always do, we have our version of Was It a Good Race poll over on the Daily Downforce Discord. If you guys want to join in, go to the Daily Downforce Discord, and then you can vote on these polls, along with join the amazing chats that we have. You guys see in the chat here, Elite, I haven't seen him today, but hopefully he'll tune in soon. And Raging Knuckles, we saw him earlier. Part of the Discord. If you want to chat with them along with myself during the race, head to the Daily Downforce Discord. But every race, I put a, was it above or below the cut line? Basically, was it good, was it bad? On the poll. And you see here the Xfinity race, 60% voted no. We got 5 voters. 60% said no. above 40%. So only 40% of people thought the race was good. Raging Knuckles, I see you in the chat, man. Levi, Nicholas, JJR for life. If you guys are still here, join the Daily Downforce Discord, man, and join the chat. You can join on these polls as well. Levi, I know you have Discord because I'll see you tomorrow for Ask Us, so join the Discord. And shout out to my man. Thank you. You're in it. Well, guess what? Start talking in it. But thank you, MTJ. Thank you. Thank you, MTJ. Shout out to my man. I forgot to put it in the Discord. It happens, but he was there once the cup race at Dover. But this makes me happy, guys. This actually makes me happy. Putting above and below the cut line, you know, when I forget, but y'all are in there to do it for me, to come in. I appreciate that, man. That you guys, hey, y'all in the Daily Downforce community, for y'all are awesome, man. Y'all are the best community I've ever seen. That is, y'all are awesome. I love you guys. Well, if you guys saw where I put the race, obviously I need a vote on this poll. I have to put below. And on 9 votes so far, only 1 vote above. He might be a Hamlin fan. I think I know who might be in the chat. Denny Hamlin fan, if you're watching this. 5 votes for mid, and then 3 votes for below. Interesting, he did put the and mid. Guys, for the Discord polls, should I add a third kind of middle vote? Or should I keep it as above or below? Let me know. Should I do that? Also, we don't have a race tomorrow. I thought we did. I guess not. I'm about to post my list of races. There we go. There we go, Levi. Woo! Make sure to tag me. Either you can put it in the Discord and tag me, or you can put it on social media, tag me, and the Daily Downforce as well. Check main chat. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah! I saw what you put. That's crazy. That's crazy, Levi. All right, guys, let's take a look at Levi's. Let's take a look at Levi's tier list here. I'm guessing Levi doesn't have an S tier. Levi, do you have an S tier or no? On the cut line would be great. Levi, are you talking about the poll? If you are talking about the poll, then we'll try it out. We'll try it out for the Brickyard weekend, and we'll see how that goes. We'll try it out. All right, so Levi has... Let's see what we agree with and what we don't agree with. So Levi and I agree with Coda, Atlanta, and Michigan. A is S. Fair enough. I had the Coke 600 in, I guess your version of A would be B tier, so I had this here. You had Sonoma higher than I did, I think. I had Pocono, I know like around C tier. I know I had the Xfinity Mexico race in S tier. But honestly, we agreed with a good chunk of this. Yeah, I had the Food City 500 F tier. I don't remember where I had Talladega. All-Star race was Nope, it's B. A gets left out. You know what? Fine. Whatever. So we just go from S, B, C, D. Fine. So yeah, we got... Usually I just see if a lot of us agree with like the A, S, and F. So for the most part, yeah, Levi and I agree pretty much. So thank you, Levi. I appreciate that. These elites saying that's just rude. Matter of fact, let's put in the chat here. We're gonna have some fun. There, I saw someone pinged me on here. See, I'm trying to find. I know we're kind of getting off sidetrack, but it's kind of what happens when you're just chatting at this point. But yeah. So that is going to do it for this episode. A gets left out, and then Nicholas, why you couldn't pass at Dover, we'll never know. Who knows? But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you. Please, before you go, make sure you give the stream a like and subscribe to the Daily Downforce YouTube channel. That'll help me out a ton. Shout out to Tyler for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And I appreciate each and every one of you as always. Make sure to check out dailydownforce.com for all sorts of great content there as well. Whether it's articles, mini games, more content. Maybe I could use those $5 to either fix this mic or get a new one. But make sure to check out dailydownforce.com for all sorts of great content over there. Stories, more content creators, mini games, you name it. Check it out over there. Follow us on our social medias. Need to buy a new mic? Most definitely. But that's going to do it for us, folks. We're going to wait the checkered flag. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we'll see you next week for the Brickyard 400.